Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Monday thus far. Staying healthy, staying safe, staying out of the way, staying low key, all of that good stuff, man. Give everybody a chance to tap in before we start building on this powerful subject matter for the day. Y'all see the title of this stream. Y'all already know how this is about to go down. So let me know how y'all living. Let me know how y'all feeling before we start building. What's the word? Talk to me, good peoples. Let me know how this Monday is treating y'all, man. Hopefully everything is good. Javon, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? How you living? How you feeling? Montel, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? How you holding up? Aubrey, peace. What's the word? What's happening? How we living? How we feeling? Joey, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? Evan, peace. What's happening? For sure. Hey, it's always good to have y'all tapping in as well. Appreciate everybody that got the time to take the time out to just listen to what it is I got to say. Montel, man, everything is good, man. Everything is all good. No complaints. No complaints. That's a waste of energy anyway to sit here and complain, man. So I don't even focus on it. Waste of energy. Chris, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? Y'all see the subject matter for the day, man. We're gonna talk about how the world doesn't care about how we feel as black men. We're gonna go ahead and keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It's a reality that a lot of people try to run away from. And then when we acknowledge the reality, then again they want to act like we crying and all that type of stuff, man. We just pointing out the facts. Aubrey, there we go, man. If the fam, hey, as long as you and the fam good, we all good. Oh, Chris, for sure, man. I gotta tap in. It's about that time, man. I gotta get in that mode as well. Anais, Antoinette, Peach Queens, what's happening? Yeah, we're gonna talk about the feelings. We're gonna talk about the feelings of black men out here, man. We're gonna talk about the feelings of black men, man. I've had conversations with brothers personally. Create strategy, peace. What's happening? I've had personal conversations with brothers, man, and brothers really feel like they don't have an outlet to express themselves without being judged. It's like everywhere we go, when it comes to expressing ourselves, we feel like we are being unfairly judged and held to, this high emotional standard, to the point where if we express ourselves, then it's a weakness. You know what I mean? So again, that's why I tend to say that nobody really cares about how the black man feels. We are at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? If you had to rate all groups of people in regards to people caring about how they feel, we definitely at the bottom of that. And black women might be right above us. Aubrey, for sure. You already know. For sure. So it say we right at the bottom, boom, we at the bottom, and then black women might be right there above us. Right there above, but we definitely at the bottom, man. They do not care about what we have to say. They don't care about how we feel. They don't care about how we perceive the world. Only time, like I said, that they care about that is when they want to steal from us, which you know that they are good for that. When they want to take our ideas and things like that, that's when they care about how we feel, how we perceive the world, our insight. And they not even going to give us credit for that. Matter of fact, I was coming across, man, I was just doing some studying, man, just diving back into some books that I read, you know what I'm saying, some months ago, years ago, and I came across an interesting perspective on the word copyright. You know what I mean? Basically giving the enemy the right to copy something that they didn't originate, and that is typically what happens. It happened way back in the day, and it continues to happen now in regards to copywriting and trademarking and things like that. Is giving the enemy the right to copy things that they did not originate, and I like kind of let that marinate. And I pondered on that. I was like, that's right and exact. That's right and exact. They created these laws, these rules and regulations so that they can literally claim ownership over things that they didn't create. See, that's when they care about our feelings. You know what I'm saying? When they want to steal our music and things like that, that's when they care about how we feel. Crown, peace, what's the word? That's when they care about how we feel. If you ever been in a corporate setting as a black man, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm talking about is right and exact, and it's the truth. They don't care about our opinions. You know what I'm saying? When you go in that room and you meeting with the managers, the higher ups, how many black men are in that room with you? If it's 20 people in this room, higher ups where everybody opinion so-called matters, how many black men gonna be in that room in corporate America? How many black men gonna be in that room? Jay Stokes, peace, what's happening? Somebody let me know if it's 20 people in this room, and this is a very important room in corporate America, and you a black man, you in the room, you one of the 20, how many more brothers gonna be in that room? Aubrey says maybe one other. I about agree with that. I about agree with that, because when I was working at the bank, we had the first bank I was at, we had it was like a poster of all the so-called important people, and it had everybody's picture. The only black man that was on that poster was my manager at the time. And I'm talking about, I think that poster had to be about 30, 40 people deep. And it was just dude. It wasn't nobody else on it. Was no other black man on that picture or on that poster. It was just dude. And it was one other black, it was a black lady. That's it. So it was 2 black people in total on that poster of important people at that bank. Out of like 40, it might have been 50. You know what I'm saying? But I know it was at least 30. And then you got to ask yourself, out of the black people, the few black people that's going to be in the room, how many of them haven't sold themselves out and not willing to sell you out? So how many of them are true or will stand on their square or original, authentic? So then you got to ask that question. You got to ask that question. So then if it's 2 or 3 of you all in this room, how many of you all are authentic? What they say, every brother ain't your brother type deal. So then you got to worry about that. They done been whitewashed. They done been brainwashed. So you in this job, and you in this important room, and you see some other brothers, you get excited. Then you chop it up with these brothers, and you like, man, they sounded just like the white folks. They done been whitewashed and brainwashed. So it's really only one brother in that room, and that's you. So again, how many true brothers be in that room? That's the real question. So again, just because it's another black man in that room don't necessarily mean he gonna be on your side. A lot of times, those be the worst ones. The brothers that then got in there sold themselves out. Whitey didn't allow them to be in the room, and now they feel like they got a point to prove, so they talk down on their people the most. You know what I mean? So again, gotta ask yourself, even when you see another black brother in there, how many brothers are truly in this room? It's probably going to be only you at the end of the day when you examine the situation. Azure, peace, what's happening? Nowhere never, peace, what's happening with you? Aubrey, for sure, definitely isn't crazy money, man. I was in that industry for long enough. I know who was making the money in banking, and it wasn't the brothers. Like I said, they were coming in that bank surprised to see a man working in the bank. They was like, man, typically don't be men working in banking and things like that. Like, that's what a lot of people was coming up to me saying. Again, man, people do not know. And they can't understand. They can't know and understand. They can know it, but they can't understand it. People cannot, they do not understand what we have to go through emotionally, mentally, as black men. You know, people don't understand it. Everybody claims they do. Like I said, everybody has an opinion on how black men should move, how black men should feel. And most of the time, they're not actually listening to what it is that we are saying. They just trying to tell us how we need to move, how we need to perceive things, how we need to feel, how we need to think. But nobody really listens to black men in regards to how we feel when we express ourselves. Because it's really, again, it's not popular for us to express ourselves because, again, it's seen as a weakness. Red paper piece, what's happening? Oh, for sure. So a lot of times you come across black men and I'm one of them, black men that we don't care to express our we don't care to express our emotions, our feelings. Society then engineered us that way and then programmed us to be that way. So a lot of people think that black men are that way by choice. Like, nah, society then just kind of backed us in the corner and made us be this way, or heavily influenced us to be this way. I mean, that's the way that you are raised, man. When you are a young black boy, you are raised that way. If you have any father figures in your life, like, you're gonna be raised to be hard emotionally. That's how you're gonna be raised. So a lot of times, man, when you dating and you come across women and they try to shun you for being closed off and not expressing yourself, one thing that the women or the sisters got to understand is, again, a lot of us was raised that way. It's programming. We feel like this is normal. We feel like this is natural for us to not express ourselves emotionally. Doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong with us. That's just how we were programmed and raised. So you got to understand that y'all are raised totally different. So you can't hold us to the standards that y'all was raised by. It's cool for a sister to express herself emotionally. It's cool for a sister to express her feelings. That's cool. That's accepted by society. It's not really cool when we do it. So it's a different ball game. So you cannot look at the world and compare the way that you was raised to the way that we raised and feel like we should do things the same way. Like, nah, we was raised different. We was raised different. It's different. Different rules apply. Different rules apply for black men. Different rules apply for black women, especially the upbringing. It's just different rules. Different rules, man. It is what it is. Oh, nowhere never. Yeah, for sure. Single mothers and black men that stand alone have it hard, for sure. 100%. 100%. Black man's revenge. Right and exact. Right and exact. Like I said, man, you, even when you deal with the family structure, honestly, and this is just honest, if you dealing with man, woman, and children, just by default, your feelings got to come last as a black man. You gonna look out for that woman's feelings first. I mean, you gonna look out for the children's feelings first, primarily, or at least you should, and then you're gonna look out for the feelings of the woman. By default, your feelings are gonna come last. By default, that's how that's gonna go, and that's just the way that it is. But sometimes your feelings coming last mean that people might not even check in on you, might not even care. That's the problem with being at the bottom. By the time it reaches you, it's like, all right, we ain't even gonna address that. So that's the problem with being at the bottom. It's like, all right, once we get to this bottom, once we get to this last person, we don't even really care about it anymore. Hey, sick man, I wish I still did music, man, because I feel you on that. I feel you, Lindell. Peace. What's happening? Oh, Lindell, for sure, man. Black man, we not respected. Even just look at sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up playing sports. That was my thing. I was all into sports. We ain't even respected in that, although we bring in all the money. But when it comes to being owners, being head coaches, like, we the minority. But yet we make up the majority of the players. So we bringing in majority of the revenue. But when it's time to own teams and coach teams and lead teams, then again, now we can't get in the building. We can't get in the door. We can't get in the room. So we not respected anywhere until they need somebody to build up their empire and generate some money for them. Then that's when they gonna let us in. Just use us so they can reach a certain status, reach a certain level. But they don't care anything about the feelings. They don't care anything about how we truly feel. They don't care anything about our health. Like, they don't care anything about any of that. Oh, you injured? You no longer beneficial to me. Let's cut them. Let's release them. We don't care about how you feel. Tyru, for sure. Man, I ain't even have mine tied back. I worked in black neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't had mine tied back. I had mine just like you see it now. You know what I'm saying? Mine was just locked out and just draping. DJ Elmo, peace. What's happening? Oh, no, we're never, for sure. For sure. The emotional death is crucial. Like, and a lot of us are in that state. Emotionally, we dead. A lot of us are in that state. Aubrey, for sure. And then when we spaz out, it's a problem. When we spaz out, it's a problem. That's what I'm saying. They don't care about how we feel. I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. I got a personal example. When I was in high school, a similar situation happened to me. Kendra, peace, what's happening? The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. But I'm gonna give y'all a personal example of them really not caring about your feelings, because I didn't have an Antonio Brown situation, but I had a situation where they did some foul things to me on the football field. I didn't like it, so I ain't come to practice the next day. I said, man, I'm done with it, man. I ain't go to practice. Guess what happened? Instead of people chiming in and trying to see how I felt and why I did what I did, guess what they did? Criticize me. Told me I shouldn't have did what I did. They bashed me. But nobody really asked me why I did what I did. They didn't care about how I felt. They didn't care about how I felt about the decision that was made about me that impacted me in my future. They didn't care about that. They were just like, you can't be doing that. You can't just not go to practice and this, that, and the third. Nobody was checking in to see how I actually felt. They made a decision that I disagreed with, and I acted accordingly. And instead of somebody trying to talk to me to really see how I felt, and there was some black brothers at that time that was around that should have did that but did not, everybody just wanted to criticize me. So I know exactly how Antonio Brown felt, man, because I was in a situation. They did something that I wasn't necessarily in agreement with. I ain't go to practice. I left practice and I ain't come back the next day. And everybody just bashed me instead of trying to see how I felt. Man, I ain't like, you know what I'm saying? We had a white head coach at that time. We had a lot of white coaches at that time. And I ain't like it. I was like, all right, nah. I don't like how this is going. They was already on me about my hair. So I walked out. I said, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. Ain't nobody tap in to see how I was actually feeling. Ain't nobody tap in and say, man, you know what I'm saying? Why you do that? You know, how do you feel about the decision that was made? Nope. They was bashing me. Matter of fact, it was a brother at that time. That basically told me that at this time to man up in regards to the decision that was made, because I really don't have any future in that sport in regards to playing at the next level. And then I go to the next level playing that exact sport. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that we was on out here, man. The Sambo tried to sit me down and tell me that you need to accept Whitey's decision, which it was unfair and it didn't make any sense. And I walked out because it was a trash decision. And they sent another brother, to try to tell me that you ain't got no future in this particular sport, so you need to just accept Whitey's decision and be quiet. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no respect for those type of individuals. But that happened. But they did not care about how I felt at all. At all. So I got a lot of examples of the world not caring about how I actually feel about something. Enforcing rules that directly affect me, yet don't care about how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of examples of that. Dora Peace, what's happening? Red paper and exactly. And I'm one of those individuals, you know, and it's rare, but when I do unleash, it's a lot of passion. You know, that's why I relate to musical artists that I can feel. Like, if I can't feel you, then I'm not going to listen to you. So that's why I would listen to somebody like DMX and Tupac, because I feel what they saying. Like, I feel like they mean what they say. So a lot of times when I finally do express myself, is back with a lot of passion. A lot of passion, because again, I'm meaning what I'm saying. I'm feeling what I'm saying. And a lot of times, as Red Paper said, you get called emotional, as if that's something that's negative. You know what I'm saying? People say, "Oh, you emotional?" Like that's negative. Like, emotional, again, is not something that's positive nor negative. It just is. It just means you are emotional. You putting your energy into motion. Like, that's what it is. Emotional. Energy in motion. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You are expressing yourself. Your expressions, you putting them into motion. All of that. That's all that it is. It's not something that's negative nor positive. So when you call somebody emotional, especially a man, when you say this man is emotional, that is not something that is degrading. And we got to stop looking at it like that. Oh, you emotional. So what? We all should be emotional, meaning expressing ourselves, putting our expressions into motion. You know, we should all be doing that. That's wisdom. That's being wise, instead of suppressing it, holding it in. So you have these feelings, you have this energy, and yet it's just potential. Kinetic is putting everything into motion. That's what it means to be emotional. So again, nothing is wrong with that. It's just, again, when you are overly emotional, which a lot of times people don't clarify that. But if I'm just expressing myself, putting that energy into motion, which that's an expression. You know what I'm saying? If I'm verbally communicating to you how I feel, that's me putting that energy into motion. It was laying dormant, and me verbally speaking it, put it into motion. That's all it is. All it is. These feelings land dormant. I haven't expressed myself to anybody, but I feel this way. And me letting it out verbally is me just putting things into motion. Literally, it's just that simple. So when you say, oh, this dude is emotional, what are you saying? See, a lot of people don't even understand what they're saying. Black man's revenge. And again, that's why people such as myself, we putting in the work. And matter of fact, it's not even really to change the narrative, because at the end of the day, they not gonna ever see us in the right light, in the proper light. And then even they not gonna, let me rephrase that, they not gonna see us in the proper light on a mainstream level. Behind closed doors, all these people know the truth about the black man and the black woman. Behind closed doors, they didn't brainwash us to not know the truth about ourselves. You know, so behind closed doors, they know the truth. They just teaching the lies to mislead the people, to brainwash us so that we don't know how powerful we are. But they know the truth behind closed doors. They just got to teach the lies. Devontae for sure, 100%. Nowhere never, exactly. Yeah, but Devontae, yeah, they don't, yeah. When we build up their empires, like that's it. When we bringing in money to them, like that's it. That's the only time they care about. And they still don't care about our feelings. They still don't care. They still don't care about our opinions on anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about any of that. What they say, shut up and dribble. That's what they tell them. Shut up and dribble. Maurice, peace. What's happening? Hey, nowhere near. We conditioned. We are terribly conditioned. JF, peace. What's the word? Sick. And I'm telling you, and that we throw that word around, but it's like, really ask yourself, what are you saying? When you say somebody is emotional, what are you accusing them of? What are you really accusing them of when you say, oh, this person is emotional? What's really the problem? Like, oh, this dude is emotional. What are you really saying? A lot of times, sometimes when you say that, you just talking about a person that's tapped into their emotional side. They tap into their emotions. And you may not be as tapped in as they are. So therefore, you hating on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person is really tapped into themselves. When you really tapped into yourself, like, yeah, you're going to be a little emotional, man. You're going to be emotional because you tapped in. You tapped into yourself in a world where most people are not. So yeah, that's gonna generate a lot of emotions. That's gonna generate a lot of feelings because you tapped in, and the majority, they are not. Lindell, you already listen. Yeah, you already know. Sick for sure. You know what I'm saying? That, that's it. Like I said, it's just putting things into motion. It's just literally putting your feelings into motion. Like, literally, that's it. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how we view it. That's it. And some of us are more tapped into that side than others. But you being more tapped into your emotional side is not necessarily something that's negative. Dean, peace, what's happening? You say if you an artist, you tapped in for sure. For sure. Definitely, if you definitely if you an artist, you should be tapped in more than likely. Seventh wave, peace, what's happening? What's the word? But yeah, man, it's hard, man. It's hard being a brother, it's hard being a black man when it comes to emotions, expressing yourself, having outlets to express yourself. Like, it is rough, man, especially when it comes to certain subjects and certain topics and things along those lines, man. And just how people really don't care about anything that you have to say, man. It's like, a lot of times, man, our opinions and things of that nature, man, it gets severely overlooked and disrespected, as if we really have no say so on a lot of different subjects. And we ain't got time for that, man. So again, when you stand up and you are a strong black man, that's why they look at you in that light, in the light that they look at all the strong black men in. They're like, oh, this dude is a problem. Kendrew, 100%, because that's exactly what I'm on. You know, so a lot of times I have been accused of that. Are you emotional? And it's like, it's passion. It's literally passion. If you talk, if certain subjects come up and I'm in the room and I'm feeling myself that day, like I feel like talking that day, then I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in. Like, I'm not like, listen, I'm going to go in. You are going to, like, I'm going to go all the way in. And a lot of times, oh man, you emotional. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. I call it passion. You can call it being emotional. It's still not something that's negative to me. We was talking about a subject or a topic that I feel, man, that I can relate to. So I feel a certain type of way about it. And I feel exactly what it is that I'm saying about this subject matter. And I'm going to make you feel it too. I'm going to make you feel it too. So if you in the room with me and we talking about something that I feel, I'm going to make you feel it too. Best believe it. Best believe it. And anybody that's been in the room with me when I didn't went off on one of my little rants, they can bear witness to what I'm saying, because you're going to feel what I'm saying. I'm going to see to it that you feel it. So you can call that emotional, you can call it passionate, whatever the case may be. But I guarantee you, once you leave the room, you're going to feel, you're going to remember what I said. Yeah, red paper, there is no center, so to speak, you know. You can express, man, listen, and it's crazy because you can be cooling for the most part, then the one time you express yourself, now all of a sudden you overly emotional. It's like you was cooling, you could have been cooling for 100 days. And on a 101 day, that like that, the day after the 100, you know what I'm saying? You express yourself. Now you overly emotional. On day 101, you say, you know what? I'm about to express myself. I've been cooling for 100 days. But on day 101, I'm going to let loose. I'm going to go ahead and express myself. All of a sudden, now you overly emotional. It's like they jump right to overly emotional. You'd have been cooling for 100 days. Day 101, you say, all right, let me express my emotions. Now, all of a sudden, you just overly emotional. They ain't got nothing to say when we cooling. All right, Dean, what you say? At what point is it acceptable for us as men to be as we feel in the moment without imposing expectations? All right, so Dean, if I'm understanding this question correctly, say at what point is it acceptable for us men to be as we feel in the moment without imposing expectations? I don't know if that is ever acceptable. I don't know if that is ever acceptable to the mainstream society, to everybody else. I don't even know. And I don't know if it will probably ever reach that point. I mean, it's acceptable on our end for us to be as we feel, because that's what we should do. That's how we should live, you know, partially. But I don't think that will ever be something that's accepted by mainstream society, at least in our time. Oh, Devontae, for sure. Prime example. And I'm gonna read what Devontae said. They try to clown you for having feelings when they know what they say isn't right or is something that triggers inner issues. Prime example, when people start talking about the way that I eat. You know what I'm saying? I can let it slide for months. And the one time I finally respond to somebody, then it's like you sensitive. I'm like, man, y'all make jokes about the way that I eat every time I come around. The one time I correct y'all and check y'all, now you sensitive. Things like that, man. Then the fact that I'm an avid reader. Y'all see the books in the background. People will joke about that all the time. Then the moment I finally respond, now I'm sensitive. I'm like, listen, I get hit with that type of stuff a lot, man. I let a lot of stuff ride. I let a lot of stuff slide. Then the moment I respond, now you're sensitive. Like, what? Oh, sick for sure. And that's what I be trying to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all is better if we express ourselves. And that's why you have a lot of these situations where dudes spazzing out, domestic abuse and things like that, man, because again, you suppressing this energy. You suppressing all of this energy, and 9 times out of 10, that energy is going to be unleashed and released on people closest to you. If we knew how to direct that energy toward the actual enemy, that would be one thing, but we normally do not do that. We suppress that energy and it comes out and we lash out on the ones closest to us. That's how it tends to go. Louisiana, peace, what's happening? Jasmine, peace queen, what's happening? Oh, Louisiana for sure, man. We do, hey, we good, we righteous, man. Everything is peace, man. Everything is peace. Appreciate you checking on how we feeling out here, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully all is well your way, my brother. But yeah, Kendra, man, I'm telling you, I get that all the time. People remember when I spaz out. That's it. I can be cooling. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, I'm cool. I'm chilling. Time I spaz out, that's the thing they remember. E reacts, peace. What's happening? Oh, Jasmine, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for my sisters, y'all right up, like it's we at the bottom and y'all right there with us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all right there with us. The only reason why y'all notch above us because they dealing with division right now. Divide and conquer is their strategy. So they didn't put black men against black women. So they gotta value one's opinion higher than the other. So they chose the black woman. So y'all opinion is a little bit more valued than ours. But at the end of the day, they don't care about anything we really have to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? In all honesty, they don't care. They just want to see us divided. That's it. So they only will act like they care about how the black woman feels just so they can keep the division going. So that's literally all they doing. That is legitimately all they doing. They gonna act like they care about how black women feel. They gonna act like, you know what I'm saying, they gonna allow black women to be in a certain room. They gonna act like they care about you, but they really don't. They just want to see us divided. They're like, all right, if we give off the illusion that these black women are included, then that's gonna further the division. So that's all they doing. Got a lot of black women confused, black women thinking that they actually matter in corporate America, and then when they find out they don't, then the depression is all at an all-time high. It's like they never cared about you. I got family members that walk that line. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, thinking that corporate America was about to treat them a certain type of way because corporate America gave them the illusion that they actually fool with the women. Yeah, they fool with the women, but not you for real. You know, so when it got to a certain point, this family member is like, all right, man, I should be able to get certain jobs over these because I'm more qualified. When it came down to that, guess what they did? Nope, nah, sister, you're not getting in here. And I done seen that break some sisters down because at the end of the day, they don't care about you. They don't really care about you. They just trying to add on to the division. But once you start really power tripping and trying to get to their level, they gonna let you know, hey, now, know your role. What the Rock say, know your role and shut your mouth. Like that's when they hit you with that. Like, hold on, now you overstepping your boundaries, sister. You know, we really don't care about how you feel. Chill out. Stay right here. Because this is where we allow you to be. Now you trying to get to where we at. Chill out. And a lot of sisters fall for that okie dokie. Then when things don't go in their favor, there it is. There they can't handle it. It's like, man, I'm here to tell you, they really do not care about you. They really do not. You know what I'm saying? That's just all honesty. CB, what's happening? Infinite Divinity. That's the best art to master right there. Our red paper. Listen. They focus on the effect. They never focus on the cause. That's all we do. We focus on the effects. We don't never focus on the cause. Like what caused it? We just see the effect, and that's what we focus on. But what caused it? Something is cause and effect. It's a law of cause and effect. For every effect, there is a cause. Every cause, there's an effect. So again, when I spaz out, something caused that. Whether it's something internally, whether it was something externally that influenced it. Something caused that. We can never ignore the cause, but we like to focus on the effect. Person spaz. Let's focus on that. We ain't gonna try to get to the bottom of why he spazzed. Again, ignoring the feelings. When you ignore the cause, you ignore the feelings. Because I spazzed out in response to something, meaning I interpreted something a certain type of way, meaning I felt a certain type of way about it. So there is no way that you can ignore the cause and not ignore a person's feelings. And that's what is happening. Oh, Louisiana for sure. You already know how I feel about the feminist movements and things like that. You already know. Nowhere never, yeah. Emotionally, everybody's being manipulated emotionally for sure. CB, exactly. Oh, dang. Oh, yeah. People definitely get offended when you feel good. You know what I'm saying? They looking at like, man, what dude so happy for? You know what I'm saying? Why dude so positive? This, that, and the third. So yeah, they gonna throw shade either way. You know what I'm saying? But we just gonna keep on shining though. Clifford Peace, what's happening? Yeah, a lot of, like I said, I know a lot of sisters that fell for it and haven't been mentally right since. Because you thought, you know what I'm saying, you thought they was fooling with you, and truth came out that they not fooling with you, and then you ain't bounced back since. John Henry Clark said it best, like, we have no friends. Like, y'all better understand that we don't have, listen, black people in the wilderness, we don't have any friends. So stop thinking these people are really your friends, man. They using you. They using you. They got to give up appearances and things like that. Like, that's what they doing. They using you. They don't really care about you, though. So stop thinking that they caring about you, man, because I'm telling you, they do not. They didn't did a good job with creating this division, but I'm here to tell you that at the end of the day, we all we got. So my sisters, at the end of the day, the black brothers is all that you got, and vice versa. Like, we all we got. At the end of the day, we all we got. We the only ones that can relate to the struggle that our people done been through. Ain't no other group. They can't relate to that. They can't relate to what we done been through collectively as black men and black women. Like, we all we got at the end of the day. What other group of people can really relate to what we went through? And we can't relate to what they going through and went through. So we all we got at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. We are all we got. We are all we got. And they know that. That's why they want to keep us divided. Oh, red paper. Don't get me started on that. Zodiac signs, retrograde, all of that. Like, dude, like, we didn't went through life and experienced things. That's why we have these emotions. Man, I'm telling you, man, I was reading another book, or I was tapping into a book that I read, and they was like, the biggest religion is not Christianity nor Islam, or the largest religion is not Christianity nor Islam, it's spookism. And that's what we be doing with things like emotions. It's like, dude, we'll blame any and everything on something, opposed to just ourselves and our living experiences. Man, I am emotional. I have feelings and emotions because I done went through some things in life. Some traumatizing, some good. Literally, that's it. That's it. And I perceive these events a certain type of way. And that will lead to certain emotions and certain feelings. But we got to blame it on something outside of ourselves. Literally, man, we going through life. Everybody goes through life, man. Everybody's going to have experiences, good and or bad. And we going to perceive these experiences some type of way. And some of us going to store the energy. Some of us going to let the energy out. Those that store the energy, again, we know that that's not healthy. So a lot of times it comes out in the form of being overly emotional or passionate, whatever the case may be. But we want to blame it. We want to blame stuff on moon phases, retrograde, zodiac signs. Like, dude, it's life. Life is the reason for that emotional buildup. Life is the reason why you feeling some type of way, man. It's life in general. You know? Groove growth, peace, for sure. What they say, man is a machine, man is a robot, things like that. That's how they want us to be. And they programming the robot, they programming the machine. Any piece, what's happening? Oh, nowhere never, man. Yeah, buddy, been there, done that. King Ramsey's for sure. Peace, what's happening? Man, hold on, I'm trying to tap into Renzo. Peace, what's happening? What's the word? Beast by Bless on out, my brother. Appreciate the donation. My brother Antonio in the building. Oh yeah, the verbal, yeah. And again, like you say, when you disclose a lot, they definitely gonna use it against you. Been there, done that. They can't wait. Matter of fact, a lot of times they can't wait to use something against you. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. They cannot wait to use things against you, man. And to me, that is one of the biggest signs of ignorance. When somebody trusts you, like trust to confine in you, say trusting you with this very critical information, very sensitive information. When somebody confides in you with this sensitive information and you use it against them, man, you wicked, man. You weak, wicked, you a savage. Like that's lame. That's lame to take someone's information when they was trusting you with this information, then use it against them when they do something that you didn't like. That's lame. That's lame, man. That is lame. Devontae, you say used to work for Kroger's and left because the managers and supervisors were unfair in the way they treated their employees. I didn't go back because I felt I was going to spaz out with fury myself. Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm glad you didn't go back because hey, that's how we be feeling. So it's best to just walk away from that situation, create another opportunity for yourself. Like that's the best way to go about a situation like that. You know, when they start talking crazy, when they start discriminating and being who they truly are, it's time for us to leave the situation and focus on building something of our own, creating an opportunity for ourselves. That's it. Because I done been in that situation several times where I wanted to spaz out, man, when I felt like I was being disrespected. You know what I'm saying? Overworked, underpaid type deal. Angelic Peace, what's happening? Dean, I walk away every time. I walk away every time. I listen, y'all know my outlook on religion, but I view a lot of things like that, man. Like the so-called spiritual community, they get to hit me with some things that sound more religious than the religious folks, and that is annoying also. Like people act like we ain't been through life. Like I said, man, we didn't all experience things, man. That's why we had these emotions, man. It's a lot of things that influence emotions and create an imbalance. What you eat, what you listen to in regards to vibrations, frequencies, man, just all of that type of stuff, man, can just activate emotions. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a bunch of everything, man. It's a bunch of everything. Better future for sure. And like I said, the crazy thing is, I'm gonna rephrase that. Better future. The system was designed for us to never acknowledge ourselves as a full man, because behind closed doors, they know that we are not only full men, but they know that we are the original man and the original woman. They know this behind closed doors. They just need for us to believe the opposite. So behind closed doors, they know what's right and exact. They know it. Yeah, Antonio, exactly. That's exactly what they did, man. And I cannot stand it. Cool gent, peace. What's happening? You know, like people talk about red flags. A lot of times, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and this is a judgment. You know what I'm saying? But when people be like, "I'm not religious, I'm spiritual," that's almost a red flag for me, because oh, here we go. I already know what you about to start talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I used to like automatically be turned off by that. Like, here we go. I know exactly what you about to start diving into, and I ain't got time for it, because I used to be on that same type of stuff, man. And I start understanding how simple things are. Simple things are. Yeah, Louisiana for sure. We gotta work, and it's messed up, man. We gotta work 100 times harder than the next person. Like our margin for error, we have no margin for error. You know what I'm saying? We start committing these errors, and they listen. Boom. Soon as they ready to get rid of us, we gone. We gone. So the margin for error, like if there is any, it is very small, very small, very small. So we gotta be perfect. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I'm gonna give y'all a good example. I'll never forget it. When I was getting ready, when I was going to college, right? A lot of people was talking about, a lot of my elders, a lot of people around me that was older was talking about like public speaking, or when you speaking to somebody and interview, things along those lines, just proper speaking etiquette. And they was talking about things like saying and stuff like that, and why black people shouldn't do that, or why we shouldn't do that when conducting speeches, when talking to individuals. Man, I go to this white university and I'm in public speaking classes, I'm in acting classes. Don't ask me why, but I'm in these classes. Public speaking, I had to be in that. But I'm in a public speaking class, and I'm telling you, every white person that was getting up there, every other white person that was getting up there, I'm talking about the worst speeches I've ever heard, getting the best grades. Whole wild society got me thinking I can't utter one without sounding stupid. I'm like, man, all these white folk, they getting up here, ain't all you hear is well, all of the stuff they done told me not to do. So my speech got to be flawless. Whole while they coming up here with all ums and uhs, and they getting the same grade I'm getting, and my speech is flawless. I ain't said not one of those. So I said, oh, okay, all right. So we got to be perfect. Whole while they can be like 50%, and they still getting the same grade I'm getting. I'm like, this is sick, man. This is sick. But I never forget that. I'm like, man, these cats can't speak at all, and y'all telling me this is, y'all got me afraid to say one like, nah. They is a million ums in their speech, and the speech was 5 minutes, and they got an A. Man, you ain't finna have me afraid. If I done forgot something and I gotta say one time, I don't care about you thinking that shouldn't be said. I'm gonna say it. I'm worried about any of that. They got black. They had you out here afraid to give a speech and say man, come on, man. Like, that's the type of stuff that we be on as people. You say and you like, oh man, I sound stupid. Man, nah, man. Like, you human. You was conducting a speech, you done forgot what you was about to say, and you done had to say That's all that is. Keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? You bounce back. But no, that ain't how they training us. You gotta be perfect. You give a speech, this speech gotta be perfect. Man, get out of here. Listen, if I'm conducting a speech and I done forgot something, I just so happen to have to say just so be it. I don't care how they about to judge that. Not at all. Hey, Thunder, you already know. I can count on one person for sure to feel me on this topic. It's always my brother Thunder, for sure. For sure. Stay fit, stay focused. Peace. What's happening? What's the word? Oh, the Terminator. Yeah, they low bar for themselves, man. Low bar for themselves. Low bar for themselves, man. But like I said, it was crazy when I was in that class. And again, I was in the class, I'm killing it. But my point is, I'm killing it because I feel like I got to be perfect. Whole while they doing the same, they doing the exact things that society told me I can't do, and they getting the same grade. So I'm like, dude, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? So again, we coach, oh, you can't say you can't say this. And they doing it, and that's all that they saying when they giving the speeches, and they got the same grade that I got. So that's always funny to me, man. Nobody is perfect, like I said, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like social media, for one, because we always want to highlight perfection. We want to make it seem like we live in a perfect life. Like, nah, everything ain't perfect. If you've ever given a public speech, if you've ever stood up in front of people and given a speech, you're gonna have moments where you slip up. It's gonna happen. If you giving speeches, if your thing is public speaking, initially in the beginning, before you master the craft, like, you gonna take plenty of L's. You know, so if you slip up and say, society told you dumb. So once you do that, then you start thinking that you dumb because that's what society told you. Well, I'm telling you, if you got to say, that don't mean that you dumb. You know, don't mean that you dumb. It's part of life. Like, everybody slips up. There is no person on the planet that's going to be giving public speeches to large groups of people on a consistent basis and never slip up. Like, nah, man. So my whole thing is that don't necessarily equate to you being dumb like they didn't taught us. Means that you slipped up. As long as you bounce back, you good. And that's the lesson that I learned. So when I started giving speeches in that class, after the first speech, I realized it alleviated the pressure. It was like, all right, man, if I gotta say this, if I gotta utter this, it's not a big deal as long as I bounce back. And that's what life is all about. Bounce back. That's why I got an A in the class. But initially, I'm up there nervous because I'm feeling like everything gotta be perfect. Perfect. I feel like, ah, man, I gotta go up here. Listen, I can't mess up at all. Man, you can trust me. You can mess up because trust me, people understand. People understand that. When you out here giving a public speech, people gonna understand that, all right, man, they just messed up. As long as you don't get frozen in the moment. That's it. People understand that. So that's dead, man. Acting like people don't understand that a person is human and they can mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff that we on. That's the type, and I've given many of speeches like that. You know what I'm saying? I've done that. Presentations and things like that. I've given plenty of presentations in front of people, things along those lines. Again, it alleviates the pressure. I'm not going there and saying, "Oh, I can't mess up." Man, you about to the anxiety about to be like ridiculously high. I can't mess up. And that is stupid. It's stupid to think that, man. It's stupid to think in real time when you giving a speech that you not gonna mess up. That is stupid to think. We not pre-recording the video and we going back and editing it. Like, nah, man, this is real times, live speech, you in front of people. And all you got is some little index cards. If that, like, you will mess up, you know? Angelic, for sure. That's exactly what it is. Got black people afraid to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Got black people afraid to literally mess up. Like, that is ridiculous, man. I'm not living that life. If I mess up, I mess up. I'm gonna own up to it, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. When I was in banking, I messed up, but I wasn't about to sit and cry about it, be depressed about it. I messed up just like I'm pretty sure some other people that messed up. I guarantee you, if you didn't work that banking, you didn't miscounted some money once or twice. There ain't no way you finna be in a field like that, and all you do is count money on a day-to-day basis, and you get it right 100% of the time. Man, you gonna mess up. You gonna short somebody $1 or $2. You might give somebody an extra 10. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you, if you will work in banking for more than a year, you gonna take some L's. Your drawer gonna come up short. One day it's gonna happen. It's normal. Don't stress over it. Eric Peace, what's happening? But they got us in fear. They got black people, they got black men, they got us in fear like, oh man, you can't make a mistake. You make a mistake, it's the end of the world. Man, listen, my attitude when I was at the bank, like I said, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Drawer was short $5. I tried to find it, didn't. It is what it is. If they want to do something to me, they gonna do it anyway. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going out of my way trying to make mistakes, but I understand that mistakes happen, and I ain't gonna let the stuff bother me. You know, that's it. But man, I done seen black people tapping into corporate America. They afraid to be late. They afraid to call off when the weather is bad. Like, they just afraid. Like, nah, man, they not about to instill that fear in me. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If I feel the need to not go, I ain't going. And again, that's not to say that I'm just going to be calling off. Like, if I just don't feel it, then I'm just not going to go. Larry, peace, what's happening? What's the word? Aubrey, yeah, man, most of the wealthy white dudes, they trash at speaking. They are trash at giving speeches. Most of them wealthy white dudes suck at giving speeches. They suck. They are horrible. Like, they not gonna be on TED Talk. Like, they are horrible at giving speeches, man. Like, listening to some of them do is hard. It's rough. Oh, nowhere near for sure. When you eliminate the fear, really is there, as Master P says, there's no limit to your success. No limit. You know what I'm saying? When that fear is gone, there's no limit. No limit. No limit to what you can do. No limit to what you can accomplish. Yeah, Sherwin, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, all of these dudes, man. All of these cats, man, all of them, man. They is just trash. It's like, dude, but y'all holding us to that standard. Y'all trying to hold us to that type of standard. And again, people hear what I'm saying, act like I'm encouraging black people to just go up, make a speech, and just fumble that joint. Nah, I ain't never saying that. What I'm saying is don't attach yourself to this unrealistic perception of perfection. Like, nah, man, you go up there, you make a speech, do the best that you can. But if you just so happen to mess up, it's bounce back. Realtor properties, man, for sure, 100%. A lot of people don't realize money keeps you in a slave mentality unless you work for yourself. And then sometimes too, working for yourself when you're doing it the wrong way, then you become a slave to like the people. You know, that's a whole different ball game. But I prefer this over corporate America when you really legitimately I was feeling like a slave to the dollar bill. But working for yourself, man, like you, and the thing about that, even in reference to the people, you don't have to deal with them if you don't want to, depending on what it is that you do. So you pick and choose who you deal with. So like I said, man, working for yourself, man, is one of the things that I always recommend because it alleviates a lot of stress. You don't have to deal with certain personalities if you don't want to. You know, you don't have to entertain certain people. Corporate America, like whoever came when I was in the bank, whoever came in that bank, I had to deal with it. I couldn't be like, nah, I ain't trying to deal with you today. Stay fit focused. I did also. Kendra, and that's exactly how I was. I rarely called off. You know what I'm saying? That you almost had to make me use vacation days and things like that, man. Because as long as I'm feeling good, man, I'm gonna show up and do what I'm gonna show up and do my duty. But when there's something important that pops up, I expect for you to respect that because I've been showing up for you this whole time consistently. So the one time I got something that I need to attend to, listen, I'm not asking you for permission. I'm telling you that I'm not gonna be there. Like if I'm a good worker, if I show up all the time and do my job righteously, like dude, the one time that I have an emergency, again, we not asking for permission. I'm telling you that I will not be in there today. Like I'm letting you know that I won't be there today. It's not, and I'm not asking you, can I come, you know what I'm saying? Can I take some time off to no? I'm letting you know I will not be there. Oh, Larry, for sure. Yeah, the mind has been conditioned to fear a lot. Shantae, Peace Queen, what's happening? Terenzo, yeah, man. We civilize the savage, as we say. Stay fit focused. What I'm trying to say. We listen, black men. We gotta be perfect, boy. We gotta be We getting judged. We gotta be perfect. We gotta be We gotta be driving a certain car. We gotta be making a certain amount of money, all the while being at the bottom. So that's why sometimes I'm like, man, how do you have these expectations for the brothers out here? And it's like we at the bottom. So it's like we gotta grind that much harder to reach these levels that you are requesting without selling out. So again, if you cool with having a sellout brother, then that's one thing. But if you want an authentic original brother, we got to get it out of the mud, literally. We got to get it out of the mud. Society ain't really going to hand us too much of anything. We got to get it out of the mud. We got to get it out of the mud. And we are being judged every step of the way. And if any point in time we feel like expressing ourselves, then they're going to attack us for doing that. Louisiana, please don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started on that. How we complain about prices when it comes to black companies. They don't even get me started on that, boy. You can't even. That's a whole nother topic, boy. We can't wait to complain about them black owned prices. Although we supposedly understand economics, it's like, okay, this is small business, so they gotta charge more than Walmart, you know. But we can't wait to complain and put them on blast. Oh, Devontae, that's big in the field, and a lot of these businesses are suffering too. Oh yeah, Eric, for sure. Yeah, they don't like when you make that business decision. Prodigal son, my brother, appreciate that super sticker, that donation. Peace, peace. Jared Peace, you say much respect for representing, not selling like Terry Crews. Man, how many sellouts y'all want to name? How many sellout brothers y'all really want to sit here and name? Terry Crews, Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, man. We can name a lot. We can start naming a lot, man. We can name drop all day when it comes to the brothers that then sold us out. And a lot of them, some of y'all, some of us, I ain't even gonna say y'all because I was too. Some of us was following some of the people on YouTube that then sold us out. Brother Polites and all of them type of cats, man. We didn't been sold out, man. Brothers out here didn't sold us out. And that again, that's never a good look. You know, that sets us back a lot when brothers out here doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, ooh, when somebody such as myself start talking, and then a brother Polite appears out of nowhere, it's like, dang, man, come on, man, you making us look bad. So brothers can't be on that type of vibe in time. Hence why, like I said, man, we keep it authentic. We keep it authentic. Y'all see who in my background. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, Khalid Muhammad. Y'all can't see Fred Hampton, but those are brothers that, and I'm a Tupac with a grain of salt, man, because you know what I'm saying, Death Row, that situation messed with his head, man. But again, Khalid, Fred Hampton, man, y'all already know. Unfortunately, some brothers sold them out. Unfortunately enough, some brothers sold them out. You can say that for all three. All Louisiana for sure. Yeah, we ain't got yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the designer clothes, it then even if we don't go and buy it, we just be like, yeah, I can't afford that, and we keep it moving. We don't bash them for their high prices. So notice the difference. When all these other groups of people have ridiculous prices, we don't necessarily bash it. We just be like, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, that's expensive. Woo woo. When it's a black bit, you charging me $50 for that shirt, man, we going crazy on it. Willis is crazy. Oh man, hey Willis, that's crazy. It's crazy that you mentioned that because in the book that I was doing the knowledge you are reviewing, it's a book that I read called Seven Jewels of God by Nuri Muhammad. Peace to brother Nuri. I think they just had a daughter that passed, Nuri Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? So condolences to that family. But he quoted that exact verse in that book. Jasmine, too many traders, way too many. Aubrey, yep. You know what I'm saying? Just pick your Sambo, pick your sellout. Plenty of them out here. Just pick them. You know what I'm saying? And I can't stand. I gotta bang hard on them a lot of times. Like back in the day, I used to really go hard on those individuals, man, because I couldn't stand that. Like I couldn't stand it. Like, cause they paid to do what they doing. Every time a black situation comes up in the media, you got a Charles Barkley automatically taking the opposite side. Like police brutality will come up and somebody like Charles Barkley start saying dumb things like, I ain't never had no problems with the cops. If people just acted right and wore their clothes a certain type of way, they would. Like, shut up, man. Like, please shut up. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. Those situations are bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? They're bigger than you. So I cannot stand it. Can't stand it. Prodigal son, Candace Owens for sure, 100%. Like I can't stand it. I cannot stand when brothers be on that. Can't stand it. is tragic and it's sad. It's disgusting, actually. I'm gonna go with disgusting. Tyru, you say, speak about hookups. How has your clientele historically treated you being a young black male? And you know, my clientele is primarily black women. And I also train black men. I got like 2 white people that I train. You know, and I had 1 Hispanic at a point in time, which that was weird. But I would say honestly, because I was working in gyms for a long time and I really did thorough research. Like, I get treated fairly because of the way I set everything up. I was studying what people are paying out here. So I kind of created a price that I knew was affordable, yet it would still take care of everything. So I knew at the end of the day, people couldn't do much complaining about my services. Now, what I would get on my end is the people that are never show up, that hit me up, inquire about my prices, then I give them the prices, and then boom, they just leave you on red. And it's like, dude, what you think you was gonna get trained for free in this joint? Like, I get that, but the people that I deal with, man, I got a very loyal clientele, primarily of black women, black men. And then I got, like I said, I got 2 white clients. But yeah, it's not as bad because I did thorough research, which I always recommend before. As far as the pricing goes, I was seeing what the competitors charge. I worked in these gyms, so I knew what people would pay for my services. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? So I created the perfect prices. So a lot of times people are like, oh man, these prices can't beat these. You know, so I feel like I created the perfect price. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. Shout out to my sisters though. I'm gonna give y'all a story. When I first started, when I first got my gym, what I was charging, I ain't even gonna say what I ain't even gonna say the amount, you know what I'm saying? People pocket watch, but I was charging a certain amount for my one-on-one sessions. I had a sister at the time. She was like, listen, she was like, I feel like I'm ripping you off. I feel like you worth $50, like it was $50 more than what she was paying. She was like, you need to raise your prices. And she started paying me $50 more than what I was charging. And she the reason why I increased my prices. That sister was like, man, you shortchanging yourself. You need to charge more. And so when she said that, I raised my prices. So shout out to that sister, man. Like that was a very great experience. She wasn't looking at it like, ooh, I'm finna rip him off. I'm finna, like, nah. She was like, man, you more valuable than this. You need to raise your prices. And she paid me. She ain't even wait for me to raise. She paid me what she felt like I was worth. And I raised my price to that price that she paid me. And I've been rocking with that price ever since. Black Palladium, peace, what's happening? So that's much respect. Much respect to that sister. She was like, man, you worth way more than what you charging. I don't feel right paying you this amount, so I'm gonna pay you a little bit more. So I started rocking with that amount. So again, man, when you come with, as who just said, Lorraine, peace, what's happening? Red Paper, as my brother Red Paper say, big on energy. When you come with some good energy, man, the people gonna treat you right for the most part. When you come with that good energy, man, I was just coming with some good energy. So hey, the energy might have been too good to the point where she was like, hey, you need to go ahead and boost these joints. But the people gonna take care of you though. Kuma for sure, man. It's called like what is it? Mawalamu. Baruti came out with a book and he talked about righteous rage. So when you direct that energy proper direction, yeah, it can definitely turn into some constructive energy as far as like anger, frustration, and rage. A lot of times though, it's misdirected. Angelic, peace. Appreciate you tapping in. Black Palladium, you say I also notice people, mainly white folks, love to dictate our thinking for sure. And a lot of times that happens unconsciously, if you notice. Like they don't even realize what they're doing. It's like subconsciously they view us as inferior. So they view our opinions as inferior. So when you get in the room with some of these people, the moment you open your mouth, like the moment you say something, it's like unconsciously they have been programmed to say, all right, what you said, I hear you, but no. A lot of times they do this unconsciously, try to dictate our thinking because unconsciously they have been programmed to believe or to know in their minds that like our thinking, it doesn't matter, our opinion, it doesn't matter. So a lot of times they don't even really realize what they just did. You point it out to them and they swear up and down that they didn't just do that. But yeah, you did do that. It was unconscious. That's what it means to be unconscious. So a lot of it is like that unconscious programming that comes out. Them viewing us as inferior, viewing our line of thinking as inferior. So it's like as soon as you say something, they automatically program to go against what you said. Whether it makes sense or not, whether it's right and exact or not. They like, nah, this black dude said this, so therefore it can't be right. So I'm gonna say the opposite. Ooh, black play. Ooh, I know you deal with that at that type of joint. I know you deal with that a lot. That's crazy. Cause I didn't seen that. So I know you deal with that heavy. I can imagine. I can imagine for sure. Hey, hey man, hey, shout out to Terenzo, man. Terenzo, that's hilarious, man. Terenzo say he's about to block both of you. Yeah, Dean and Better Future. Glad y'all. Yeah, I might have to tap out after that, man. Terenzo got me with that one, man. Terenzo, it's crazy, it's funny, but Terenzo probably dead serious. Say he was about to block both of you. That's all. That's about my cue to wrap it up, man. Terenzo he's about to block some folks, man. He got tired of seeing the back and forth, man. All right, yeah. So that's my cue, man. That's my cue, man. It got real in the field, man. So I done went over my time, went over the little hour. Appreciate y'all tapping in for the bill, man. Appreciate the donations, all the comments and good stuff, man. I'm gonna try to tap in. I'm gonna try to tap in with y'all again tomorrow. If not, I definitely do some shorter videos. But I'm out for this day. I ain't coming back. Ain't gonna be no part 2, none of that. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday, man. Again, y'all stay healthy out here. Stay safe, stay dangerous, however you want to live out here, man. Stay true to yourself, be authentic. But I'm out, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Monday. Peace.